You are probably making the biggest money mistake in the used golf club market right now. Far too many guys are wasting serious cash overpaying for gear or getting completely burned by sketchy listings. You know the feeling. You wait a whole week for a driver you bought online, you take it straight to the range, tee up, and hear a dead clunk on the very first swing. The internal weighting is totally busted. Just like that, your cheap deal became a massive ripoff.
Later, I'll show you the surprise pick that actually protects your wallet. It completely eliminates the biggest risks of the used market for the average everyday golfer. You're going to want to stick around for that one because it solves the exact problem ruining most used club purchases right under our noses.
So who are you actually buying from? This category confuses so many players and costs them cash. The mistake that turns a good deal into a bad deal is just not checking who you're dealing with. Failing to check a site's condition grading system is fatal. One site's good rating is another site's mint rating. If you don't check their return policies and whether they use actual photos, you're literally just gambling with your cash. You might as well throw your wallet right into the nearest water hazard.
Let's jump right into the list. Coming in at number 5 is eBay. This is the absolute widest marketplace out there. You can find almost anything on here if you're patient enough to look. The main strength is the sheer volume of listings. It's the ultimate hunting ground. Say you need a specific older model that still holds up, like a 2016 TaylorMade M2 driver, or you need a very specific, hard-to-find KBS shaft flex. This is exactly where you go hunting.
Here's the hard verdict on eBay. Buy if you're patient, experienced, know exactly what you want, and can read listings carefully. You have to be willing to do the real work. Skip if you're a beginner, and absolutely skip if you're someone who wants guaranteed, easy returns when a club just doesn't feel right on the course.
The cheaper option is not always worse. Here's the catch. With eBay, you are buying from individual sellers, which means quality varies wildly. One guy is running a legit golf shop, and the next guy is cleaning out a damp garage. You can easily end up with a club that absolutely does not match the description. You have to check seller feedback scores carefully. Did they sell golf equipment before, or do they usually sell vintage toasters? You must demand real photos every single time.
Moving to number 4, Rock Bottom Golf. They show up a lot on these lists because they carry a really strong value mix of new, closeouts, and pre-owned deals at solid prices. They're especially good for drivers and fairway woods. You can often snag great deals on specific previous year models. We're talking stuff that hit the market 12 months ago and still performs incredibly well, but is now heavily discounted.
Let's break down their real strengths and weaknesses. The strength is frequent sales and great pricing. They give you a standard 30-day return window, which is solid, and they grade their clubs fairly. The weakness? A much shallower dedicated used inventory. You might not find every single brand or that exact iron set you were hunting for, but it is a definitive buy if you monitor their sales section regularly to stay under your budget.
Most buyers skip this and regret it later. When shopping for used clubs, manufacturer consistency and accurate condition grading are everything. Let's break it down simply. You need to know that a 7 out of 10 rating actually means the club still has 90% of its life left, not that it's ready for the scrap heap. If you ignore how a site grades its gear, you are just asking for trouble when that box arrives on your porch. You have to know exactly what condition you are paying for.
That brings us to number 3, Callaway Pre-Owned. This site offers unmatched reliability and peace of mind. Why? Because you're buying directly from the manufacturer. They have the original specs on site. They have professional refurbishing tools right there in the warehouse. They have their own strict grading system, and they stand behind their clubs. The condition descriptions tend to be incredibly reliable. You know exactly what you're getting.
But there is a glaring downside here. Buy if you are a diehard Callaway or Odyssey fan. Skip if you are looking for Ping, Titleist, or TaylorMade. You are locked mostly into one brand family. This is a highly specific value play only for those already living inside the Callaway ecosystem. And remember why this matters for your budget. If you force yourself to buy Callaway just for the safety, but you actually hit Ping irons better, you are still wasting your money.
Before you buy, you need to hear this next part. We have a platform coming up that solves that multi-brand issue entirely, giving you tons of options. But it introduces a major new risk factor you have to know how to navigate.
Number 2 on the list is GlobalGolf. They have massive inventory. You want options? They've got them. They use a detailed 6-tier condition grading system. Their very good rating is the absolute sweet spot for budget buyers. Why? Because it represents the perfect intersection of slight cosmetic wear but zero performance loss. Plus, they back it up with a strong 90-day satisfaction guarantee, which is one of the longest windows you're going to find anywhere.
Here are the hard facts on GlobalGolf. Strength? That massive 90-day guarantee protects you if the club just doesn't perform on the course. Weakness? You rarely see photos of the exact club you are buying. You are almost always looking at stock images. This means you must blindly trust their condition grade before adding it to your cart. You are blindly hoping that very good looks as good as you think it does, and that is a real risk.
Let's shift gears for a second. Here's a rapid-fire smart buyer defense sequence to protect your cash on any site. Step 1. Demand real photos when available because stock images hide nasty sky marks on the crown. Step 2. Verify shaft specs. A stiff flex shaft on the wrong hands will ruin your slice even more than a cracked club face. Make sure the flex matches what you actually need. Step 3. Check return policies carefully, as some sites make you pay return shipping out of pocket. Step 4. Compare grades across sites. A very good club on one site might just be average somewhere else.
This is exactly where most golfers waste money. Buying the wrong shaft because the price looked good, or completely ignoring those return shipping costs. It is incredibly frustrating to watch guys do this. Think about it. If you buy a $200 club, hate it, and have to pay $50 to ship it back, that instantly kills any savings you thought you got by buying used in the first place. You end up losing cash for absolutely nothing.
Let's be perfectly clear about who should even be shopping on these platforms. Who fits? Beginner to mid-handicap budget buyers who care way more about forgiveness and durability than having the absolute newest technology. Who avoids? Skip shopping used online if you need a full custom fitting right now or if you demand absolute zero risk in the latest 2026 tech. If that is you, go to a big box store, grab a coffee, and pay the premium.
Let's do a quick recap so you know exactly where you fit. Number 5, eBay, is for the hunters willing to do the extra homework. Number 4, Rock Bottom Golf, is for the deal checkers watching for sales. Number 3, Callaway Pre-Owned, is strictly for the brand loyalists. And number 2, GlobalGolf, is for the wide searchers who want massive variety on a budget. But what if you want the best of all these worlds?
This next part changes the final answer completely. We tease this right at the top. There is one overall value winner that stands above the rest for the everyday weekend golfer.
It's time for the #1 overall value winner for 2026. This is the clear answer that eliminates the biggest risks of the used club market for the average golfer who wants to avoid bad surprises. This is the one platform that protects you from stock photo scams, terrible return policies, and limited brand selection all at once.
Taking the top spot is Second Swing Golf. They are the safest bet out there. Why? Because you get to see actual photos of the exact club you are buying. You can literally zoom in on the heel of the driver to see if the previous owner was a high handicapper who scraped it on the turf. No stock images hiding bad paint chips here. Paired that transparency with a solid 60-day play guarantee and a massive selection of every major brand. Yes, their prices can sometimes run a little higher than GlobalGolf or Rock Bottom on the exact same clubs. But seeing the exact club and knowing you can return it, that is easily worth a slightly higher price. All right, time to make a decision. Drop a comment below with your budget and your usual miss on the course. I read the comments and try to point you guys in the right direction. If this explainer helped you find a smarter way to shop, hit subscribe so you don't miss our weekly budget gear explainers. But before you go by, ask yourself this one final question. Is buying a brand new $600 driver actually going to fix your slice, or is it just a very expensive band-aid for a bad swing? Play smart out there